What's up, guys? Sensei Vacuum here, and today I will be doing the history of Johnny and Daniel, aka Cheeto. That's my name for them. Okay, yeah, this history of episode is the first one, and it does from 1984 all the way to 2018, all the way to 2021. Actually, 2019, because for those people that haven't seen Cobra Season 3, I'm not going to spoil you. And if you guys have, then fine. Okay, so Jin, Johnny and Daniel, sorry, I kept saying Johnny or Daniel for some reason, but Johnny and Daniel first met when Johnny was riding on a bike with his Cobra Kai crew, and Johnny and Daniel would hang out with Allie. From Johnny's point of view, Daniel was attacked him when he was trying to talk to Allie, but from Daniel's point of view, Johnny was through Allie's radio on the phone on the floor, and he picked it up and gave it back to him, but Johnny pushed him down, and Allie said, hey, take your little Cobra Kai and get out of here. But that's what, and then Daniel got back up, he punched Johnny, and then Johnny knocked him down, and yeah, and he didn't see him, from Johnny's point of view, he didn't see him for for months, until at the Halloween dance, when Daniel dressed up as dressed up as like a two, like as a like a got like as like a, was it like a shower head, sprayed Johnny with some shower hoses. So Johnny decided to beat up Daniel, and yeah, so this is when Mr. Miyagi stepped in. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi stepped in, and he beat up those Cobra Kai bullies. So, and then Mr. Miyagi and Daniel went to Cobra Kai, and that's where they met Kreese for the first time. And yeah, Kreese, he's crazy, and he's also the worst. So, I just like Marco's acting. So, but back to Cobra Kai. They go, and he's like, Johnny will not bully Daniel until the All Valley tournament. And Daniel, what does he do? He makes remarks at Johnny that makes Johnny want to punch his face in. But one of the Cobra Kai members said, "Hey Johnny, the deal is you can't beat him up until the All Valley tournament. So it's time for the All Valley tournament. Daniel's won some matches. Johnny's won some matches. Daniel, from one of the Cobra Kai members, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby. Bobby. He got like a hurt leg. Mr. Miyagi saves it, and Allie goes out and he's like, Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight. Daniel LaRusso's gonna fight. Then Johnny lands some blows. Daniel lands some blows, and then Daniel crane kicks him, and yeah, Daniel wins. And yeah, and then Daniel's like, that's an illegal kick, and he hands him the trophy. But then we go to Cobra. Actually, we go to Karate Kid 2. They don't have an interaction. Miss Miyagi just saves Johnny from Kreese choking him out. Now we go all the way to 2018 for Cobra Kai. Yes. Daniel and Johnny reunite when Daniel's daughter Sam wrecks his car, and he has to go to Daniel's auto body shop, Little Russo Luxury Autos, to fix it. And he is not happy to see Daniel when he first meets him. And then he brings out Louie and Anoush, and he's like, hey, and he's like, isn't that the guy who you beat at the karate tournament? He's like, no, but yeah, I kicked his face, so that just makes Johnny mad. That makes Johnny mad, so he's like, And then he spots Daniel's daughter, but then Daniel's like, hey, and Johnny's like, I'll handle it, but then Daniel's like, no, Johnny, I'll take care of it. And he's like, I'll handle it, but then Daniel's like, hey, 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 if you go to this is the best one in the valley. If you go to any other one, they'll like rip you off. So he gives Johnny a free pass, and he gives Johnny what is it? He gives Johnny he gives Johnny like a Bondi with Johnny's throat, and he's like, hey Johnny, we're glad we're not having Cobra Kai back. And Johnny, he reopens Cobra Kai, and then episode 2 of Cobra Kai, when Kylo Sam's kind of boyfriend, now ex-boyfriend, lies to him and says that that Johnny beat them up. He goes confront him, and Miguel's there, and he's like, hey Sensei, he's like, Sensei, oh really? Hey kid, this guy isn't worth your time. He's gonna lie to you all the way. But then he's like, come on man, I'm right here. Come on, you can't come on. And he's like, and he walks away. He's like, so yeah. So they meet up again in episode 3, where Daniel's like, where Daniel spots Johnny, and actually, yeah, he spots Johnny, and he's like, hey, you really think Open Cobra Kai is a good thing? He's like, yeah. He's like, do you remember what Kreese did you? And he's like, I'm nothing like Kreese. And he's like, hey, but he spots Sam and Kylar go somewhere, so he's like, just get off school ground. So next episode, after Miguel's mom forbidding Johnny from seeing Miguel after learning about the whole cry, Kyler beating him up, Johnny drunkenly, who's drunk, he takes his spray paint and sprays a wiener near Daniel's billboard, which Daniel first thinks it's Tom Cole, which causes a lot of things between Daniel and Tom Cole, but yeah, there's a lot of things between Tom Cole. But this is not it's not a Daniel and Tom Cole thing. This is a Daniel and Johnny history of the episode. So Daniel takes up karate again, but he finds out that Johnny is the one that sprayed the wiener on his billboard. And also Miguel is allowed back at Cobra Kai. But yeah. And he tries to get the landlord of Cobra Kai to give up Cobra Kai so he can shut it down. So he can shut it down and turn it into so he can shut it down. But his wife Amanda's like, hey, what happened to my husband? I want my husband Daniel back. And yeah, but Daniel wants to fight back Cobra Kai. And he wants to fight back Cobra Kai, so he opened up his own dojo. So he opens up his own dojo. So and Robbie, Johnny's son, who hates him for goes to Universal Auto, and then he goes to, and then episode 7, Johnny finds out because of Karate Kid 3, he could not enter Cobra Kai in the Yellow Valley tournament because now he has more members like Hawk and all those guys. So he finds out that he cannot enter Cobra Kai in the tournament. So when he goes to the committee board, he realizes that Daniel is on the committee board. And Daniel tries to convince these guys that, hey, Cobra Kai's bad. This guy hasn't changed. He's still he's evil. guy that he was back when he was in high school. But Johnny tries to defend himself and says, "Well, I'm not the same guy. I'm trying to teach Karate Kid. I'm trying to teach Karate Kid nice things. I'm trying to teach this kid nice things." And Johnny and Cobra Kai eventually are able to win the tournament. So episode 9 happens, and when Louis and his rascals burn up Johnny's car, Johnny goes to confront Daniel, and he's like, "Hey, your little goon squad burned up my car. So what's up?" And he's like, "What goons?" And he realized it's Louis. And he's like, he's like, "Hey, it was Louis. It wasn't me. It was Louis." And they try to like, and he's like, "Give him," and a man's like, "Give him a car, give him anything, just give him a car." So he gives him the Challenger. He gives him the 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 2009 Challenger. So everything's going good. Daniel and Johnny are talking about their ex-girlfriend Allie, which I'll make a video about Johnny and Daniel's relationship with Allie. So yeah. So yeah, and 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 so so Daniel and Johnny are hanging out talking about his ex-wife Allie, ex-girlfriend Allie, and then they're about talking about how they'll have a spar like Rocky 3, but Robbie's there and he's like, "Hey, Johnny, I got a new student," but Johnny is mad as ever, and he's like, "Dad," he's like, "Wait, what, Dad?" And he's like, and Daniel basically tells him not to come to the dealership or the dojo. So yeah, and with the recently breakup with the breakup of Sam and Miguel, Miguel is really on edge and really wants to take down Robbie. And Johnny, and after Miguel wins the All Valley tournament, Johnny's like, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, Robbie." He's like, "Okay, he wants a relationship with Johnny wants a relationship with Robbie, but Robbie isn't quite there yet." So yeah, and then we go into season 2, where the rivalry heats up, where and then with Kreese back, which Johnny thought Kreese was dead in season 1, but he's actually back with Kreese back. It's yeah. So yeah, and so yeah, and with Louis fired because of the whole burning Johnny's car thing in the last season. Yeah. So in episode 2, actually, there's not just like there's not like a big giant Johnny and Daniel confronting. It's just a whole like creasing. So episode 2, Robbie Daniel discovers that Robbie is living in a bad apartment because his mom keeps going on and dating other guys and doesn't pay the rent. So Daniel's like, "Hey, I'll give you the rent. I'll give you a place to stay." And Amanda's like, "Hey, I tried to call his mom, but he's like, what about his father?" But yeah, as Kreese and Johnny are about to leave the building, look who comes, but Daniel LaRusso, he's like, "Is this part of your new Cobra Kai, Johnny?" And he's like, "What about your own Kreese?" And Kreese says, "Hey, everyone's back together, but not everyone. My condolences to Mr. Miyagi." So he's like, "I came to ask you a question, but I got my answer. So yeah, he's like, you two are in for a rude awakening. So yeah, so and then in episode 3, it's not a big confrontation between Daniel and Johnny. It's just that Daniel tries to perform a good thing at Valley Fest. Johnny found out about it, and he tries to, with his new Cobra Kai members, he tries to interrupt it. So yeah, he tries to interrupt it, and yeah, so yeah. Then episode four, yeah, in episode four, for a lot of things, not a lot of things happen. Daniel goes to a country club. Yeah, but episode 5, it really, really heats up because Hawk, who went through a little red hair transformation in this episode, who went and still dating Moon, and ambushes new Miyagi-Do member Dimitri, and Daniel finds out about it and he's happy, but when evil Palpatine, it's Emperor Palpatine creates, he finds out about it and he said, the fight's not over. So they wreck Miyagi-Do and say Cobra Kai never dies on Mr. Miyagi's car. So Daniel, with only one option, obviously confronts Johnny. And Johnny's like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I ever touch your dojo? Why would I ever disrespect it? Like, come on. And he's like, and then Increase is just sitting there evilly. He's just sitting there evilly, just like, and Hawk, he should just, and he's like, and Daniel's like, if you wanna work for this guy, go ahead, but if you don't, Miyagi-Do's right out the, Miyagi-Do's always open. Daniel and Johnny's like, are you trying to poach my students, dude? And he's like, yeah, and they end up leaving and joining Miyagi-Do. So, episode 6 isn't a Daniel and Johnny, like, adventure. It's just that Johnny goes to see his old friends from the original Karate Kid, and Daniel tries to undo the bad blood between Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, because the former Cobra Kai joined Miyagi-Do, and Robbie doesn't like this because he thinks that once Cobra Kai, always a Cobra Kai. But Daniel has to let him in that once he was a Cobra Kai, and he in Karate Kid 3 under the training of Terry Silver, and yeah. Yeah. So episode 7 didn't have any. It does not get heated up until episode 9. Yeah, episode 8, where Daniel and Johnny are forced to go on a double date because Daniel with Amanda and Johnny's with Miguel's mom. So Johnny is supposed to talk with him, and yeah, and he's supposed to talk with him, and yeah, it seems like they're about to be friends. Yeah, about to be friends, and that's where we go to season 3, the aftermath episode. These are aftermath episode of Cobra Kai season 2, where Daniel and Johnny finally team up to find Robbie Keene, who after the school fight that injured Miguel, yeah, we all know it. He went into hiding, and he went into hiding. So, and Daniel's forced to send him to juvie for first doing a car. Yeah, and that kind of makes Robbie just like Daniel, because he's like, and Daniel's like, I'll find a way to get you out of the jail, but he's like, don't bother. So yeah, and then when Robbie gets out of jail, it just sours his and Daniel's relationship even more because he tells both Johnny and Daniel to stay out of his life. So yeah, but this is about yeah. So yeah, and and then episode 8, the good, the bad, and the badass. They all hang out. They all go to this meeting with all about tournament being in the balance. And Kreese and Daniel and Johnny try to tell them that Kreese is a bad man, and since he took over Cobra Kai in the finale, he's a bad man. So yeah, and yeah, so and then in episode 9 is all episode 9. Yeah, actually episode 10 is where it heats up because Robbie also joins Cobra Kai, and when Johnny finds out about this, he doesn't find out about it, he just confronts Kreese anyway. So he fights Kreese, but Robbie said, but Kreese is right. He says Kreese is right. I blame myself for you not being there, but why can't I blame myself when I can blame you? So, but Daniel still mad about Cobra Kai attacking Sam, uses a chosen move and disables Daniel's John. He's like, why don't we just not sell this into like a dragon soul duel of the death? Why don't we sell it to All Valley? If I win, I win. I leave town, but if you lose, and before he can say the ultimatum, but if they lose, Johnny says we won't lose, and yeah, and then that's how they become co-senseis at the end of the season, and that is Daniel and Johnny rivalry, friendship, and actually rivalry, and friendship from Cobra Kai season 1 all the way to 3. I love Johnny and Daniel. Yeah, Johnny and Daniel have been the most hated rivals since the first Karate Kid, and this show makes you want them to be friends. But in episode 9, you thought they were gonna be friends. Robbie's there. They decide to reveal. Robbie decides to accidentally reveal that Johnny is Robbie's son. That Johnny is Johnny's son. Ruined friendship. Episode 9. Episode. 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 Yeah, they decide they just can't keep Johnny and Daniel alone. They cannot leave these two alone. They have to have them keep rivaling each other. I just want them to be friends. And the end of season 3 kind of makes that official. So, yeah, this has been my review. This has been my history of Johnny and Daniel from Cobra Kai. Actually, from Karate Kid all the way to Cobra Kai. I do not know if they had anything in the comics. Actually, they're probably not any Cobra Kai comics. But if there is, then they probably had some more there. But I'll see you guys in my review, my history of Daniel, and my history of Johnny and Ali. Yes, I'm doing my review of Johnny and Ali. I'll see you in that video.